I am Artemis Teagan, and I am the owner and director of the Artemis Center for Family Therapy. I am happy to have two of my colleagues here today, Robin Kim and Veronica Davies. We're going to be answering questions today about how we use mindfulness in clinical practice, in particular with children, adolescents, and families. So I'm wondering if either of you utilize any form of meditative process with younger children or with adolescents, or in systemic family work where you're helping them to utilize that component of mindfulness. Does that come up at all?
Yeah, definitely, which in all three situations.
Maybe you could give an example, Ronnie, of how you might utilize that.
In particular, I'm thinking about children who I see who are cutters, okay? And what I have found is that most of them have very similar issues. They feel disconnected from their family. My parents don't like me. They don't know me. They're at that stage in life where they are desperately trying to create their own identity, and when they feel that they're disappointing their family, they feel detached. They feel, I'm not part of this family anymore. What I would do with a teen who's cutting is find the core reason as to what's going on really.
Yeah.
Walk them through it while they're in with me.
Yeah.
And then that's how we decrease it. And the core thing that they're cutting about is never what they say they're cutting about until 3 or 4 or 5 sessions later.
Right.
So what I like to do is bring the whole family in after I've worked with the teen for some time and we've gotten a grip on the cutting, to address the detachment and how everybody's feeling in the family. So I might have everybody do a guided visualization
Together.
Where I lead it, and I get them all to sit and breathe and take them to, like, if it's a family that I know likes boating, I will take them to a lake and then let them kind of tell their own story in their heads about what's going on in the boat. And then after we finish, we talk about it. What did you see? What did you smell?
Everybody's different perspective.
What happened? But what's interesting is that a lot of times 1 or 2 members of the family will have the same or very similar experience. And then they will be like, I didn't know that you thought that way. I didn't know you thought that way. So it's kind of like, okay, we're all in this together. And then the breathing also allows them to help tolerate what we're going to talk about, which could be something that somebody doesn't want to hear necessarily, you know? But when they're breathing and they are aware of their body and aware of the sensations in their body, and they're not frightened by those sensations because they can tolerate them, then family discussion can take place in a much safer, a more congruent, positive environment for teens and little ones, as well as the older family members. Everybody can use their imagination, and everybody can, with guidance, feel the tension in your body. Where do you feel tight? Or even for little ones, can you put your hand on the part of your body that you feel this right now? And then we can talk about it and go from there, and let the child know it's safe. You can talk to us. Your mommy and daddy are right here.
What I like about doing it on a group level like that is that everyone in the system gets to have their own perspective about something that's not a high conflict item. And so they get to experience, everybody may see things differently, and that's very much okay.
It's really okay.
And what a great concept for a family that's in conflict, where they're often coming in trying to figure out who's to blame.
Well, this is it. The theme comes in, usually with a teenager. He's destroying our family.
Right. It's him.
It's him. Yeah. It's him. It's him. But what we find out when we do something like a guided visualization with the whole family is everybody's got a different perspective. Everybody has their own valid feelings and thoughts. And it's okay to disagree. And it's okay to just stop and listen. You don't have to defend yourself.
Don't have to agree.
Don't have to agree.
Yeah. And one of the things that I like to have come up in the family work that we do is this awareness that maybe, even though everybody's showing up in treatment, maybe everybody's actually kind of okay right where they're at. We just need to have a different perspective, right? Like, instead of everybody coming up and this is what's wrong with mom, and this is what's wrong with dad, and this is what's wrong with Junior, that maybe everybody's on some level okay, and we need some acceptance to show up.
Yes.
And some compassion to show up that, you know, we're okay and we're struggling, but we're really okay, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the really valuable, one of the valuable byproducts of mindfulness is
And
to have that.
compassion-focused treatment, which is, you know, sort of right behind mindfulness practice, is this bringing in that ability to teach clients to be more loving and more kind in the ways that they see themselves.
Absolutely.
And in the ways that they see their parents or their friends or their teachers, that we're all struggling and that we all are making mistakes and learning from that, and that's good and it's fine, right? It's not a punishment.